match?
Yeah, but does she have to ask her father permission because it's it's against the rule?
Well,
Did you go to Vince and say, listen, I need the rules broken here?
Well, he could see.
He saw what was going on.
Yeah.
Vince is no dummy.
No.
In WWE, rivalries don't always end in the ring. Stephanie McMahon stunned fans by dating Triple H, one of her father Vince McMahon's biggest rivals. Years later, Ric Flair's daughter Charlotte crossed a similar line with Andrade. These are the WWE Legends kids who dated the one person they weren't supposed to. Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. The story of Stephanie McMahon and Triple H represents perhaps the most iconic forbidden romance in wrestling history, a tale that transformed from scripted drama into a genuine power couple that would shape WWE for decades to come. Born into wrestling royalty as the daughter of WWE founder Vince McMahon, Stephanie grew up immersed in the business, while Triple H, born Paul Levesque, climbed the ranks from his 1995 WWE debut to become one of the company's most dominant forces as a member of D-Generation X. Their paths crossed professionally in the late 1990s, but it was the infamous November 1999 storyline that would change everything. In one of wrestling's most shocking angles,
Dating Triple H, did you have your father write a storyline that would include you and Triple H together so you could get together with Triple H?
Actually, no, and I was dating somebody at the time, too.
the storyline saw Triple H interrupt Stephanie's planned wedding to wrestler test, revealing footage of a drive-through Vegas wedding where he had supposedly married an unconscious Stephanie. This heel turn spawned the dominant McMahon-Helmsley faction and some of WWE's most compelling television during the Attitude Era. But behind the scenes, something real was blossoming. Stephanie and Triple H began secretly dating in early 2000, despite Vince McMahon's informal policy against employees dating within the company, especially involving his family.
Okay, so you start working with him,
Right.
all right? And then how does he put the moves on the boss's daughter? Does he begin to say, listen, I'm having feelings for you? Or
He
does
was
he
very
just...
flirtatious.
He was?
Yeah.
He said, I'm attracted to you.
No, he would drop hints, and I sort of wondered, like, is he hitting on me? And then I thought, no, it can't be. He's just, having
What would he
fun.
say to you?
When Vince discovered the relationship, his reaction was complex.
Another
And
wrestler.
he gave us the okay, and then he took it away.
He took away the okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it was just, if we really were going to be together, it would have to be a big deal. It would have to be the right thing to do. And so he let us come together, and then he made us be apart. And we came back together again. And if it was meant to be, it was meant to be.
This Romeo and Juliet dynamic, where Vince initially gave his blessing before taking it away, tested the couple's commitment. They stopped seeing each other for a period, but their connection proved too strong to deny. Triple H proposed on Valentine's Day 2003, and they married on October 25th, 2003, in a Catholic ceremony at St. Teresa of Avila Church in Sleepy Hollow, New York. The wedding marked the official union of wrestling's ultimate power couple. Together, they've built both a family and an empire, having 3 daughters: Aurora Rose, born 2006, Murphy Claire, born 2008, and Vaughn Evelyn, born 2010. The couple has faced their share of controversies. Critics have long accused Triple H of marrying into power, claiming he used the relationship to secure top positions and bury rivals. This perception led to significant fan backlash over the years.
People bring this up a lot, and it's a criticism of me or a knock on me. But
Criticizing you for what?
having what I have because of, right? If I never met Steph, if I never married Steph, I never would have been the guy.
You didn't earn it.
Yeah, Taker was one that said to me one time, he's like, what do you care? You know what you do, you know who you are. You shouldn't have a problem with it because the truth is the truth, and none of those people know. If I never met her, I'd probably end up in this same place. Not exactly the same place, but I'd still be here, I'd still be behind the scenes, I'd still be doing this work.
Their relationship has endured for over 25 years since 2000, with 22 years of marriage as of 2025. They've weathered health scares, including Triple H's near-fatal heart failure in 2021, which Stephanie described as a terrifying experience that brought them even closer. Recent family tensions arose amid Vince McMahon's 2022-2023 scandals, with reports suggesting strained relations between Vince and the couple. As of 2026, Stephanie serves in advisory roles after stepping down as co-CEO in 2023, while Triple H operates as WWE's chief content officer, overseeing creative direction. Their story remains one of wrestling's greatest real-life romances, proving that sometimes the best storylines are the ones that become reality. Brooke, Hogan, and Bully Ray. The bizarre and short-lived relationship between Brooke Hogan and Bully Ray stands as one of professional wrestling's most controversial and uncomfortable storylines, blending kayfabe drama with brief real-life dating that left fans cringing and questioning the booking decisions of TNA wrestling. Brooke, the daughter of WWE legend Hulk Hogan, was born into wrestling royalty on May 5, 1988, gaining fame through the reality show Hogan Knows Best, before pursuing music and eventually joining TNA in 2012 as an on-air authority figure for the Knockouts division. Mark LaMonaco, known professionally as Bully Ray and previously Bubba Ray Dudley, was born on July 14, 1971, and rose to prominence as part of the legendary Dudley Boys tag team in ECW, known for their hardcore style and table-breaking antics. By the time he encountered Brooke in TNA, he had transformed into a singles heel character, becoming TNA World Champion and leader of the Aces and Eights faction. The on-screen storyline began in 2012-2013 during TNA's Aces and Eights angle, a motorcycle club-inspired faction feuding with Hulk Hogan and other babyfaces. Bully initially positioned himself as an ally to Hulk, saving Brooke from attacks by the group. This protection angle evolved into a secret, romance revealed in November 2012, with Austin Aries exposing their relationship on television. The storyline escalated with an engagement and a televised wedding on January 17, 2013.
Mark, I can't believe I'm standing in front of you right now, exchanging vows with you in the middle of a wrestling ring. But you came into my life like a burst of light, and I finally feel like I can trust. I feel like I'm safe. You're my best friend. You definitely know how to make me laugh.
The ceremony was interrupted by Aces and Eights, descending into chaos with Taz revealing himself as a member. At Lockdown 2013, Bully betrayed both Hulk and Brooke, exposing himself as the faction's president and admitting he used the relationship to manipulate Hulk for a world title shot. But what many fans didn't know was that reality briefly mirrored the storyline. In 2021 interviews, Brooke revealed that Bully approached Hulk requesting permission to date her off-screen, describing him as super nice, funny, and really cool. They went on a couple of dates around 2012-2013 during the TNA storyline, with Hulk giving his blessing despite the significant age gap. Brooke was 24, Bully was 41. However, the romance ended abruptly when Brooke discovered Bully was still involved with TNA wrestler Velvet Sky, Jamie Santier, whom he had been dating from 2010 to 2013. Brooke noted she put two and two together and removed herself from the situation to avoid drama. Bully and Velvet Sky later got engaged in 2013 but split in 2014. The TNA storyline was widely panned as one of wrestling's worst on-screen romances, with fans citing no chemistry, contrived plot twists, and discomfort over the age gap and the exploitative nature of the angle. Real-life controversies included the overlap with Velvet Sky, leading to perceptions of Bully as unfaithful. In 2025, Brooke reflected on the fake wedding amid family estrangement following Hulk's death, sharing clips that drew mixed reactions, some nostalgic, others viewing it as her missing the kayfabe nature of professional wrestling. Charlotte Flair and Andrade El Idolo. The love story between Charlotte Flair and Andrade El Idolo represents a modern wrestling romance that captivated fans worldwide, uniting two of professional wrestling's most prestigious bloodlines before ending in heartbreak and public scrutiny. Charlotte and Andrade began dating in February 2019 after meeting in WWE, bonding over their shared wrestling legacies and the unique pressures that came with carrying such famous family names.
Can we talk about your father's high praise for Andrade? On Twitter recently, saying one of the top 5 in WWE right now.
When you're going to marry someone, you're marrying their family too. You know that phrase?
Oh, thank
I have
you.
no control over my dad.
Oh, thank you.
My dad's right though.
Their chemistry was undeniable both on and off screen. Andrade proposed on January 1st, 2020 during a romantic boat trip. Their wedding was delayed due to the pandemic and demanding careers, but finally occurred on May 27th, 2022 in a lavish ceremony in Torreon, Mexico, attended by WWE stars like Finn Balor and, of course, Ric Flair, who was supportive of the union. Andrade later cited returning to WWE in 2024, partly to be closer to Charlotte amid her injury recovery from a devastating knee injury in December 2023, torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus. However, cracks began to show. Charlotte filed for divorce on June 18, 2024, which was finalized in October 2024. The split sparked immediate rumors and speculation. Andrade took responsibility for the breakdown, stating in interviews, "I was the one who failed in the relationship." He denied fan speculation that Charlotte influenced his 2025 WWE release, emphasizing she never interfered professionally. Andrade revealed in February 2025 that he had a son, possibly from a prior relationship, adding another layer of complexity to the divorce narrative. Charlotte's history of multiple marriages, previously to Ricky Johnson, involving domestic abuse allegations, and Tom Latimer, fueled public perceptions of instability. This became ammunition for her on-screen rival Tiffany Stratton, who mocked Charlotte's 3 divorces during a SmackDown promo on April 4, 2025. Charlotte retorted by claiming Stratton's boyfriend Ludwig Kaiser was DMing her, leading to an off-script, heated exchange criticized as WWE's most shoot-style segment since the Attitude Era. This segment blurred real-life divorce drama with kayfabe, building toward their WrestleMania 41 feud. Guerrero and Matthew Rehwoldt. In the world of professional wrestling, few love stories embody the concept of growing up together, quite like the relationship between Guerrero and Matthew Rehwoldt. Shaul, born October 14, 1990, is the eldest daughter of WWE Hall of Famer Eddie Guerrero and Vicky Guerrero, making her part of one of wrestling's most legendary dynasties. She trained in the infamous Heart Dungeon, becoming the first woman to do so, and pursued wrestling as Raquel Diaz in WWE's developmental system from 2011-2014, facing personal struggles including panic attacks and an eating disorder that influenced her career trajectory. Matthew Rehwoldt, born October 7, 1987, entered professional wrestling after a background in theater and voice work. He signed with WWE in 2012, debuting in NXT as Aiden English with a theatrical singer gimmick that showcased his remarkable vocal abilities. He formed the Vaudevillains with Simon Gotch, winning the NXT Tag Team Championship, and later transitioned to managing Rusev in the popular Rusev Day storyline before becoming a commentator. Released by WWE in April 2020 due to budget cuts, he joined Impact Wrestling, now TNA, in 2021 as a commentator and occasional wrestler under the name Matt Morris.
You know what? When it's actually kind of funny because we met when I was first at FCW and I was there before him. And you know, I thought I was hot shit. You know, I was FCW champion and I was queen of FCW, and I was like, okay. And he showed up and he was just the opposite of what a wrestler would look like. You know, my husband's build is different. And he's this pale Irish kid and he plays music and theater geek. And when he first came in, I was like, ew, who's the pale kid? And, you know, but I mean, when I came back to WWE after I went to rehab, you know, he, you know, was this confident man and he was so nice. And we lived in the same apartment complex. And he was always offering to help me with anything I needed. And he was like, do you need a ride? Do you need anything? And that blossomed into flirting. And then the moment we went on our first date, we just haven't stopped being with each other. And yeah, the rest is history.
Their story began in 2012 at WWE's Florida Championship Wrestling developmental territory during a promo class. Matthew's pale appearance and guitar skills caught Shaul's eye, and they discovered they lived in the same apartment complex in Orlando, Florida.
How much pressure is it to be in the business and to be a couple?
I feel like thankfully, like Matt and I have always had such separate gimmicks that we've never really had to worry necessarily about competing gimmicks to where like or anything like that, but I think it's more about being understanding and of like, you know, if he's gonna have an on-air romance, which he kind of did, like, or insinuate. No, well, yes, that was an absolute romance. That was a very much romance. Big romance. Yeah. But no, but like insinuations with Lana and stuff like that. You know, like it's just it's all part of the work.
The nice part is having someone who understands showbiz aspect of it, the travel aspect of it, all that kind of thing. But yeah, but I do like that we've always kind of been in but separate, because it always worked.
Their first date involved watching True Blood, but they ended up talking for 8 hours instead. The relationship progressed steadily, leading to an engagement in December 2014. They married on January 3rd, 2016 in Apopka, Florida, integrating Matthew into the legendary Guerrero wrestling family. There was no direct on-screen rivalry or feud between Shaw and Matthew in WWE. However, WWE considered pairing them on screen, but the couple preferred to establish their real-life relationship first. The rival element in their story is more conceptual. Matthew married into the Guerrero family, which has a storied history of legendary feuds, but there was no personal antagonism between the couple. Shaw expressed interest in hypothetically teaming with Matthew against rivals like Rusev and Lana during their on-screen pairing, but it remained speculative. The couple's relationship has been relatively controversy-free, though family scandals indirectly affected them. In April 2023, Shaw's sister Sherilyn publicly accused their stepfather, Chris Benson, Vicky's husband since 2015, of sexually assaulting her at age 14 in 2015. Vicky initially denied the allegations, but later disowned Sherilyn, prioritizing her marriage. Shaw confirmed the assault occurred, but described family support through therapy and finances, while criticizing Sherilyn's life choices, which drew backlash for appearing to downplay the incident. This family rift sparked public outrage, with fans accusing Vicky of exploiting Eddie's legacy while failing as a mother. The relationship began in 2012, leading to engagement in 2014 and marriage in 2016. As of January 2026, they have been together for about 14 years and married for 10 years. The couple is generally viewed positively as a wrestling power duo, with fans celebrating their stability amid industry chaos. Matthew has expressed that being part of the Guerrero legacy is an honor, stating it's something he doesn't take lightly. Brooke Hogan and Randy Orton. The brief but memorable collision between Brooke Hogan and Randy Orton in 2006 represented one of WWE's most uncomfortable storyline dynamics, blending Orton's legend killer persona with uncomfortable flirtation that sparked both on-screen drama and real-life rumors. Brooke, Hulk Hogan's daughter, was 18 years old and fresh off the success of Hogan Knows Best when she became entangled in her father's feud with one of WWE's fastest-rising stars. The rivalry between Randy Orton and Hulk Hogan began in 2006 as part of Orton's Legend Killer arc, with Orton targeting Hogan's age and legacy. On Saturday night's main event in July 2006, Orton flirted with Brooke backstage and RKO'd Hogan in a parking lot. On Raw, Orton parodied the Hogan family with actors in a segment called Orton Knows Best, complete with a fake Brooke, whom he kissed. The feud culminated at SummerSlam 2006 in a Legend vs. Legend Killer match where Hogan won via pinfall after his signature leg drop. This was Hogan's final WWE match. Backstage tensions arose. Hogan was reportedly upset about his pay and card position, threatening to no-show and allegedly influence the booking to win. Orton was said to be punished for behavioral issues contributing to his loss. The dating aspect was purely a WWE storyline to heighten the feud, with Orton portraying interest in Brooke to provoke Hogan. Real-life rumors emerged from comments by radio host Bubba the Love Sponge, who claimed Brooke discussed possibly hooking up with Orton, making Hulk full hot. A TikTok clip shows Hogan recounting Brooke expressing interest in dating Orton. The storyline was perceived as a classic generational battle, exciting fans with Orton's arrogance clashing against Hogan's icon status. However, the outcome drew backlash for prioritizing Hogan's ego over building young talent. Rumors of real dating were dismissed as wrestling folklore, similar to other urban legends, but persisted in forums and podcasts. Hulk Hogan was portrayed as fiercely protective in the storyline, reacting angrily to Orton's advances on Brooke. In real life, Hogan allegedly got upset over Brooke's interest in Orton, as per radio clips. Rachel Ellering and Chris Hero. The relationship between Rachel Ellering and Chris Hero represents a quieter, more private love story in professional wrestling, one that pairs a second-generation performer with a veteran indie wrestling legend. Rachel, born December 28, 1992, is the daughter of WWE Hall of Famer Paul Ellering, the legendary manager best known for guiding the Road Warriors, Legion of Doom, to multiple championships and later managing Authors of Pain in NXT. She competed across the independent circuit, including Shine Wrestling, Ellering, Ring of Honor, and Stardom in Japan, before signing with WWE in 2016. She debuted on NXT as Rachel Evers, competing in the Mae Young Classic tournaments, but suffered a torn ACL in July 2019 and was released in May 2020 amid COVID-19 budget cuts. William Christopher Spradlin, known as Chris Hero or Cassius Ohno, was born December 24, 1979 in Dayton, Ohio. He became an independent wrestling staple, competing in promotions like IWA Mid-South, Chikara, Combat Zone Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, Ring of Honor, and Pro Wrestling Noah. He signed with WWE in 2012 as Cassius Ohno in NXT, but was released in 2013. After returning to the independents, he rejoined WWE in 2016, working NXT and NXT UK until his 2020 release. Post-WWE, Hero transitioned to coaching, joining AEW in 2023 as a producer and coach. Rachel and Chris's paths crossed prominently in WWE's NXT from 2016 to 2020, where both were signed during overlapping periods. Hero was a veteran presence, often in mid-card feuds and mentoring roles, while Rachel competed in women's tournaments. They likely met through the WWE system or the indie scene, as Hero had a reputation for advising younger talent, including Rachel. Rachel and Chris began dating around 2017-2018, based on social media and interviews, where Rachel referred to him as her boyfriend. A 2017 Reddit post highlighted Hero giving Rachel an unusual gift, suggesting early association. In 2019, he publicly supported her after a car accident involving a drunk driver. They became engaged sometime before 2023, though the exact date is unclear. Sources list them as engaged by 2021-2023. The couple is viewed positively in wrestling circles as a supportive, low-key pair of veterans. Fans appreciate their shared passion for wrestling, with Rachel crediting Hero for guidance. Social media reactions highlight their compatibility, though they keep details private. Want to see more like this? Click the suggested cards on your screen to continue watching.